Hello again, Miss Alexia. Today we'll be looking at Module 1A, Day 2. It's still on place value. Again, just to kind of go over the format of these lessons, the first slide is kind of just the description of today's lesson. Then slides 2, 3, 4, and 5 here have some additional information for the teacher. Just to remind you that when you see it in TeachHub, you're going to have a view-only copy, just like I explained to you guys yesterday. If you go to File, make a copy, you'll make a copy of the whole presentation. Just remember that you're not going to be able to save it in week 1. You're going to have to keep pressing the back arrow until you get to My Drive, and then you can go ahead and save it. So I have it saved already here where I can edit this presentation, and I'm going to take us to slide 6, which is going to be our main focus for today. So it's another notice wonder question. So these types of questions are part of a math routine called Notice and Wonder, and it is a really helpful way to engage students for the lesson. Students come in with different levels, and this allows it to be very accessible for all students. So students, for example, when responding to these questions, might say they noticed something like maybe there are 5 columns, or that they notice that there's 10 thousands, thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones. They might notice that there are numbers, division, and arrows in the place value chart. They might notice that there is numbers like an equation on top, 4 10,000s, 2 tens divided by 10 is 4,000s, 2 ones equals 4,002. Students might be coming up with mathematical questions based off of what they see here too. So it could be, it doesn't always have to be a place value chart. It could be an image, it could be a chart like this one, it could just be equations, it could be a problem stem, it could be a picture, it could be a bunch of different things that students can use or that you can incorporate Notice and Wonder with. Again, it's a great way to launch the lesson, and it gets students engaged in the lesson for the day. Now, for some wonder questions that students might have, they might be thinking, how does 4 divided by 10 still equal 4? They might be saying, what happens if I create a new column to the left or a new column to the right? What would that be? How far can the columns go? Maybe some students will have some questions about that as well, which, hopefully you can address with them at some point during the lesson. Now you might be thinking, okay, this is great. Now how do I use this in the classroom? Well, there are a bunch of different ways. You can present this slide in front of your classroom. They can jot it down on maybe Post-it, so that maybe then you can kind of group the answers on a chart and see if students are having the same noticings or the same wonderings, and you kind of group them together. You can also, if they have a device with them, you can have them use Jamboard. So one way to make these interactive is by using Jamboard. So I have a Jamboard already opened up here, and I included an image of the slide so students don't have to go back and forth from one tab to the other. In order to upload an image, you can press Add Image, and to take this image, you'll just go back to the slide, and if you're on an Apple computer, press Command-Shift-4, and then just drag over the image that you want to take a picture of. If you don't have an Apple computer, then just look for the snipping tool and you'll be able to take an image of that slide. So back here, you can always adjust it. Just make sure you press that little cursor, and you can enlarge it or decrease the size of this. So just kind of going over the toolbars in Jamboard a little bit. Here you can rename this, so we can put it as Module 1A, Day 2. And students will be able to post, so they can use the pen. They have other options too, like marker, highlighter, and brush. They have a few colors they can choose from, but if they don't have a touch screen, it might be a little hard to use the pen. And then they have an eraser. They have the cursor to select or move things. They have the sticky notes. They have different colors, not that many, but they have a few different colors. Again, we said that was the add image. Here they can add a few shapes if they want to. And they have a text box, so they can just go ahead and just type if they don't want to use the Post-it. And a laser. So the laser just, kind of follow their thinking, where they're going from if they're presenting this. In order to share this out with your students, you're going to click on share. Now it'll probably be preset to some other thing where it's restricted. You're going to click on change, and you're going to make sure that it is anyone with the link. So there are a bunch of different options, anyone with the link. And then this is really important. It's going to be preset. The default is viewer. You're going to want to set it to editor. Otherwise, students can only view it and they can't actually post anything. So make sure it's on editor. We're going to press copy link, and then it'll be done. And then we're going to go back here to the slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little text box feature. And I'm going to make a text box the length of this portion that students are supposed to write on. And now that I created a text box, it'll give me the option now to add a link. So I have to click on link. I'm going to write click to respond on Jamboard. And here I'm going to paste the link. Okay, so now I have the link there, and I'm going to press apply. And now students have this hyperlink here that they can click on and go to response to. And they can go ahead now and respond as well. They can use, again, the sticky note. They could also use a text box and just type in their thinking. I notice, and they can go ahead and fill in their response that way. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful in trying to find ways to make these slides interactive with your students. Again, go ahead and use Jamboard, but you also have some other options as well. You can go ahead and use Nearpod or Pear Deck. Those two might need subscriptions if your school hasn't bought into them. But there's also another option, Whiteboard.chat, that you can look into. There are a bunch of tutorials online on using Whiteboard.chat, so that might be something you want to look into as well. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this video segment. I hope you found this video helpful on how to make your slides interactive when doing the Notice and Wonder math routine. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.